Hi everybody, Alan Denman, Barging Free, and I am standing in one of the most remarkable places of all. I'm on the River Thames, and this pointing that way goes all the way up to Reading and the Kennet and Avon and up to Oxford as well. And if we just spin round now, we see the bridge there, and then something that's very common, you can see the weir just there. And this is something, a feature of the Thames, that generally speaking, where there is a lock, there will be a weir by the side. So let's just come back again and look this way. Now we're actually by the lock, and you get an idea of the scale of the Thames. The locks are much, much bigger. Look at this boat that is coming into the lock. It's huge by London standards. You couldn't get this round the London canals, could you? And we're just going to watch this come into the lock here. So let's walk back this way, take it back, and we're going to see it gradually. Let's watch it easing in. Let's have a look at the boat. Very slow is the key word, I think. A boat this size with the weight, it could really smash the lock gates if you go too fast. There's the lock keeper over on the other side telling them to keep over, stay right.
You also see the chap holding these fenders down. That seems to be kind of common on these boats, so that you don't bump against the side as you go into the lock. We're assuming that's what they're for.
Good point there, Aisha. Let's move down. Shall we move down and watch it coming in? It is quite a tight squeeze.
We happen to know this lock will take 15 foot, I think they told us here.
15-foot width.
Yeah, so I guess it's not bigger than that, although it looks bigger.
So let's just follow it in. Key word is slowly, slowly, slowly.
Good spot. She's a big girl. She's going to fill the lock, I reckon.
See the size of the tiller down there under the water. Amazing.
Another boat come. I don't think that was going to fit.
Yeah, it's just this boat in this lock. The Thames locks are so big you can normally fit 4 or 6 boats in of various sizes. The lock keeper across there, he's just making sure the boat is secure. Then move around. Just look at the size of the fender here on the giant sausage.
close.
Guys, you need to go back. That two big boats are going to come out there in a minute.
Okay, I don't know if this
telling the chap in
the white boat, which we call gin palaces. Not sure if there's
to go backwards because there's two other boats coming the other way, I think.
Yeah.
So he's wanting the white boat to leave space.
Okay.
Other big boats to come out.
Waiting for the gates to close so they can open them at the other end.
While we're waiting, we'll just do a little panorama.
Yeah.
So beautiful. Lovely little area here where a lot of people.
Sorry.
Going by.
And so, Aisha, just may I ask you about this bridge. One of the things that's unique about this place is there are two long bridges, wooden bridges, one stretching towards Reading and the other one going back into Henley. We'll have a look at that in a moment.
Just
But
get a glimpse of it there if I turn the camera around.
just have a look across the river here as well, look.
Hang on. It's like stuff might be happening a lot, no? Okay, maybe not. They're taking their sweet time with that one.
Let's just have a look across the river, and there is a thatched house just across there, and a lot of these river houses have got a little boating area underneath. I think that looks to me like there's some space there you could pull a boat into.
Use the weir again, bit of a close up. Can we turn around? Let's see the
Okay.
box closed. Lovely
Let's
place.
wander down and yep,
Quite interesting.
the gates have closed.
Being very careful with this one, I guess, because it's such a big boat.
There she goes, actually going down pretty quickly.
A lot of people shouting out various instructions.
Hey, can we just look at the trees up there? So we are on the edge of the Chiltern Hills here. It's actually very steep just here. You can see it rises very steeply. When we came down from the West Midlands, we had to come over the top of the Chilterns to get down into London.
It's almost like a cliff face here, isn't it?
It is steep.
I always feel it's almost feels slightly Swiss.
Should we move down to the front of the boat and we can see it leave the lock?
Okay, I'm just going to be mindful not to
Walk it
get
down.
other people in the cabin. They may not want to be on our film. There's one big boat. You've got a little fire up there. It's having barbecues outside, so it's kind of fun. You're not.
What do you think it is? 90 foot? 95?
Oh, it wouldn't surprise me. Beautiful big skylights. I think that's nice inside.
And a smaller one beside it. In fact, I think there's two smaller ones.
Good sized crew. Fair number of people on there.
And then just look at the front of the boat down here. You can see all its scraps. So it's had a few scrapes and battles in its time. And looking at that, that's a well-travelled boat, that is. So should we just move down to the front, and then we're going to see this boat leave the lock.
So while we're waiting for that, let's have a quick peek at the weir from the other side. See the force.
Do you want,
The water comes out here.
do you want to
I
talk
worry
about your
about
weir
weirs. Yes,
phobia?
I have a fear of weirs. And Alan claims boats couldn't go over them and don't go over them. But I actually spoke to a lock keeper and he says they absolutely do. You can get pulled against them and then the current can swing you round and you get sucked in through those gaps. That's what he said. Which doesn't seem like a good idea.
I would agree with that. Avoid weirs wherever possible.
Quite a flow there.
Let's come back. Let's see. How do you pronounce that? Vlod or VIOD 2? I think that probably is a bit Dutch.
Lock gates are open.
Pair of anchors on the front. How long is your boat? How long? No, how long is it? 100.
105 feet, the lady said. 105 feet.
That's big.
That would take some
All right.
working.
I thought it was a little bit shorter, but it's very difficult to tell. 105 feet is very long.
It is. I wouldn't want to paint it.
Should we just move down and we'll have a look at the other bridge?
Yeah. Okay.
Come this way.
Boat coming through the lock. 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 Here we go.
So you can see the second bridge here, and straight ahead in the distance in a moment, that's Henley. So this bridge takes us back to Henley-on-Thames. The other bridge kind of leads up towards Reading.
The other end of the bridge. Oh, they're beautiful. Makes a lovely walk. And there's the boat leaving the lock. Last words from you, Mr. Denman?
Okay, so that's it. An extraordinary place here. Huge boat, big lock, weir, amazing bridges going both ways. It is a very unique spot. So I hope you've enjoyed this little insight to boating on the Thames. That's it from me. Okay.
A little bit.